What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So things are actually happening. We are going to address the economic stimulus update, what we're seeing there, the talks going on between Senator Joe Manchin and Democrats. We're going to address what President Biden is doing to try to address this food crisis and try to get more truckers back into the field. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now, but there is some good news. So let's address the good news for Monday, April 4th. Now, here's what I can tell you. There are still stimulus checks going out. And I've been getting a lot of questions on this because there are a lot of other channels and places on social media that are discussing checks actually hitting people's bank accounts. So where is that coming from? Well, here's what I want to just address today is yes, there are states that are sending out stimulus checks at this time. And that is some good news, but not all states are pushing out these checks. So just keep in mind that even though some states are and some states may in the future, not every single state is at this time. And one of the main reasons why states are sending out stimulus checks is simply because they have a budget surplus from 2021. That's really the only reason why, okay? And I know some people are going to be upset that, California may get a check. New Yorkers are getting a check. People in Florida are getting a check. But what about the rest of the states? That's kind of the issue. So we will see what happens moving forward. But as I get more reports and more updates as to where and what states are providing these checks, I promise I will fill you in on all those updates as soon as we get them. Now, here's something else that's actually pretty good news is we're seeing a timeline for the next big tax and spending bill that Democrats want. Now, I know many people are going to be like, well, Democrats have wanted this for a while. They haven't been able to pass this. Is it even going to pass? Well, here's the thing. There's still a lot of bipartisan support to get another bill done. We know there's a lot of bipartisan support on different things like, raising taxes. That's not something that Republicans want, but Democrats really want that. We know Democrats really want to see climate change. They really want to see climate spending included. Right? There's a lot of stuff that Democrats want, and Republicans do back some of these additional provisions. So we're going to see what happens. But according to Senator Tim Kaine, he says a bill must be passed soon. He went on to say, and I quote, "You either do it before Memorial Day or you're not going to do it." Now, just to give you an idea, Memorial Day falls actually on, I think it's Monday, May 30th, which is actually 56 days from today. So it's coming up less than 60 days away. Now, could lawmakers get this passed? Yes. Will they get it passed? I don't know. But here's what Democrats are saying. Democrats are saying that they can't go back to Senator Joe Manchin and try to pass the Build Back Better Act. There's no way to do that because there would not be enough support. Their plan is to actually meet with Senator Joe Manchin and meet with him with where he currently stands. So what we know at this point is Senator Joe Manchin, he wants to include higher taxes for the rich and large corporations. He wants to include prescription drug reform and climate spending, those three things. His plan is to actually use half of any new revenues towards the deficit. Okay, so this is pretty big because Senator Joe Manchin, he wants to include higher taxes on the rich and large corporations. Let's say they bring in $1 trillion. He wants to use $500 billion of that, half of it, in order to pay down our national deficit. Now, according to Democrats, they say that they can agree to this, but we need to act now. That's the key. It has to happen soon. If it doesn't, that is where things are just going to completely break down. But according to Senator Joe Manchin, he says just the other day that after the confirmation of the Supreme Court judge, then negotiations will likely pick back up. But we're going to have to wait and see what actually comes out of this. Again, Senator Joe Manchin, even though he's been discussing certain things, he's been talking to other lawmakers on what he'd like to see in the next Build Back Better Act. The negotiations have been very they haven't been really formal. Just been bouncing ideas off each other, and that's really it. They've been doing a lot of this, a lot of the talks and discussions through the media. Now, even though this can work, according to multiple reports, there has to be a formal negotiation or else everything's going to break down. So again, good news is they are moving closer to finding time to negotiate, but it looks like that time is going to come over the next couple of weeks. So again, we will see what happens there. And let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below as well. Do you think that Senator Joe Manchin is just going to pretty much negotiate just for the sake of negotiating? Or do you think he's actually willing to pass a bill? Because there's people on both sides, even lawmakers, that say, why negotiate with this guy when he doesn't want to pass a bill? But others say we have to negotiate with him because he does want to pass a bill. He just wants to pass the right bill. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Now, in addition to confirming the new Supreme Court judge, the Senate is also working on a bipartisan deal to pass $10 billion towards COVID spending. This deal is likely to be announced today, according to multiple reports. They are saying it's going to include about half of the money going towards therapeutics. Nothing is actually going to go towards international COVID aid, and the bill will be fully offset. Now, here's the reason why I want to bring these things up. First off, nothing going to international COVID aid. The reason for this, again, this is a bipartisan bill. The reason for this is because Republicans do not want to give away money to other countries when we are trying to fight our own battles here within the U.S. That's what they are saying. We cannot afford to provide more and more COVID aid to other countries when we are still struggling here. Our deficit keeps going up, but other countries, are they helping us pay off our deficit? No. It's coming down to the taxpayers, to you and I. And right now, it's going to take us a long time to pay off $30+ trillion of debt. Now, let's talk about the food crisis and what the Biden administration is doing for truckers. Here's what I can tell you. President Biden is expected to actually give a speech later on today to talk about what his administration has done for truckers. He's also going to come out and talk about what they plan on doing for the future of trucking, which, according to multiple experts, he's just going to discuss their effort to expedite the issue of commercial driver's licenses needed to operate trucks. Last year alone, there were about 876,000 of these special licenses issued. Now, this actually exceeds pre-pandemic levels by more than 35,000 jobs, which, according to multiple reports, that is something that we could actually see pick up because a lot of people want to get back into the trucking field, but they don't want to be stuck with bad hours. They don't want to be stuck with dealing with COVID restrictions. And that's a big issue is, oh, I have to be vaccinated. Oh, I need to wear a mask. Oh, I can't go into this building or that building. And so a lot of them just like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this now. I'm not going to do, travel across the country. I'll just go and deliver within my state. Just makes it a little bit simpler, a little bit easier, but at the same time, it makes the economy struggle just a little bit more. Now, not only are we hiring more truckers and getting more license approved faster, and this is all good, and this is helping to move products a little bit quicker. But the nice thing about hiring more people is it's going to be a huge help for food as well. And here's the reason why. Right now, some truckers are working so many hours that they are getting paid a lot of money. And a lot of it's coming from overtime and other things like that. But what you need to keep in mind is that experts are saying that there's a food crisis on the horizon, and it's due in a large part to what's happening in Ukraine. But farmers are saying that what they know is prices have to increase. Gas prices are going up. Products, machinery, everything is getting higher in cost. But one of the big ones is there's farmers internationally that are now competing to buy fertilizer from the United States. Because before, what was happening, farmers would actually buy fertilizer from Russia. But that is off the table. Okay? International buyers are not buying from Russia. So what's happening right now is U.S. farmers and international farmers are competing for the same U.S. fertilizer. This is causing prices to go up even higher because demand for it has gone up. The supply has stayed the same. And this is causing a lot of issues. But here's what I can tell you. The plan is, at least according to reports, is just let the American people know prices will go up. And they have to go up in order to provide these products. And hopefully the American people will be fine to purchase these. That's the plan. That's the plan. That's what right now is. Just let the American people know prices are going to go up. And then hopefully the American people will just take it. That's the plan. Now, one last thing I want to leave you with is this is finally happening. We're finally starting to see some results from the bills that Democrats have been discussing over the past year. We're finally starting to see the negotiations could start to actually take off. This is good news, which means the American people could see some relief. Now, my expectation is tax prices are going to go up. Prescription drug prices will likely go down, which is going to help many elderly people, many people on Social Security. This is going to really help out those individuals. Now, you're probably wondering, well, I don't need medication, right? I really don't need that. That's great, but I don't need it. What's there for me? Well, there's a lot of talks that we are still going to see some form of relief for people that do have student loans. So that is probably something that is going to cover, millions more people. But then you're probably thinking, okay, well, I don't have student loans. I don't get a lot of prescription drugs. What's there for me? The other thing that we're hearing is there could potentially be some form of a tax credit. Okay? Some form of tax relief. So again, there's discussions out there, but we don't have a lot of details as to what they're actually deciding to do. So as soon as we know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all latest news and updates. Again, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.